You know, I think there is. I think I remembered. It's called Bacchanalia because Classic Bacchus is back. That's what it is. Look at him.
Let's go.
He's back. He's Bach.
Oh, is streaming going? It literally just started.
So if you participate throughout the entire calendar event, you can get Classic Bacchus for free. And that's, I mean, what could be better than that? Look at him. He's horribly intimidating, actually. So after the event, if you didn't happen to claim him, you can still pick him up for classic skin pricing. He will go on sale, but you know, you can also just participate through the entire event and have this all to yourself. And again, who wouldn't want that? Look at him.
Sleepy baby.
So yeah, and that about covers it.
We
for
did
community
it.
news.
We brought back Classic Bacchus.
We did.
Shout out Trelly.
How excited you are about it.
Shout out Trelly and Ed right now.
Yeah, it's
Ajax.
I hate to say we've peaked, but that's, I mean, it's pretty high.
Come on.
So with all of that community,
They got a fucking tattoo. At least you do say their name.
Nitty gritty stuff. Let's talk balance. We're into balance now. So it looks like the first couple things are actually are these support item buffs or buffs? Let's get into
all right. Let's get into buffs.
So this balance is a pretty big one because of the extra weeks in this update and because we're not doing that extra round of bonus balance. So there's a lot of nerfs.
Wait, what was the original price of that
update? And it's a pretty big.
Should I turn them down? By the way, is my voice too low?
Mid-season, so a lot of changes, a lot of data to be following, a lot of player feedback. The first one we're going into is support items. Now this is reading as War Flag buff, but the actual buff is being applied to War Flag, Sentinel's Gift, and Benevolence. All of those are being reduced in their upgrade price to make sure that those support players can get that upgrade as soon as they can when they level up at level 17. So
yeah, it
made sense, right, Quan? Like it was already a little earlier to
imagine if they did that when Animosity was still in Duel. Oh lord,
because the support player is doing their duty.
Would you imagine Snowball?
Yes. And also, we've been
a little baby
watching how the mid-seasons really changed the pace of the map. And so that's also something we want to keep an eye on to make sure that support players, when they're getting to the point where they can upgrade it, they have the right amount of gold to upgrade it with their teammates. That's why it was lowered to level 17, and that's why making this change so they're separate from all the other starter items.
So remember, if we have mods in here, please, if anyone spoils anything from
the next thing,
the actual site, please ban them immediately.
Magical power and its evolved form. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so this is like the go-to mage staple right now. Provides power, pen, a lot of really good utility stats. There's also a bug fix on the base Karen's coin to affect its HP 5 as well. So it's getting a little bit too much HP 5, so that's kind of paired to the base version here. But yeah, it was just too
bad that item is fucking useless in Duel.
And so we're just taking some of the power off to make sure that the other penetration, the other 10% or 20% options can better compete with that, and it doesn't make it the go-to only option.
You just hanging out, buddy?
Cool.
You are chilling.
Next up, looks like a Frostbound Hammer nerf. That hurts my feelings a little bit. Ajax, why are we doing that?
Damn, that is a big nerf.
Frostbound Hammer is
I hate Frostbound though, so I'm happy with it.
Item, we'll say. And there are a few gods that use it really well right now. Overall, this item we're pretty happy with the additional attack speed slow that we've added to it. That really brought the item back in a big way.
Definitely did.
A new way to be effective.
And
Wavy, since it's
fucking cringe,
we are now going back and kind of tuning down the movement speed slow. Also, I love this balance note because it kind of reminds players that we actually do have a different movement speed slow for melee versus ranged. So if you're considering trying to use or potentially abuse this item with a ranged character, we've slightly de-incentivized you from that.
Snowball's reacting to the patch, and I was honestly, why? Like, he doesn't want to move at all.
Really strongly performing. Not something you see so much in the pro meta, but one that can be really a plague of the casual and ranked player bases. So a nice little nerf here to make sure that this item's not overbearing.
I agree. Fuck Frostbound.
Next on the list, we have Jade Emperor's Crown getting a buff. Looks like the physical power reduction. How about that?
Holy shit, 5 fucking power.
Actually be kind of a string of other support buffs as well.
That actually might be pretty useful in Duel.
Items that were underperforming, you'll see them throughout the patch, but Jade Emperor's Crown was one of them. It brings you.
Depends on the god though. Like if you're a magical that has a bad early game, that might not even be too bad. But at the same time, Bancroft is just so fucking strong most of the time.
Wasn't quite efficient enough to really fit into that slot, so we're just bumping.
Well, with starters, it depends. It's really changed the meta more than I thought it would.
Awesome.
Bancroft definitely isn't used as much.
So how about the Blackthorn Hammer? That's getting a buff as well, I hear.
Blackthorn buff, no.
Another tank item.
400 health.
Generally goes to solos.
Isn't that the most highest health item in the game? Isn't 350 the highest?
But this item, we
Or am I wrong
had
there?
a brief period where it was very meta.
I hated it when it was meta, dude, in Duel.
Talk people into buying
Holy
it. I'm
fuck, that
surprised
was
it took us so
awful.
long.
Everyone just
But
built
it did
black
finally
form.
get it, and then we kind of swiftly nerfed it. So we're bringing this back just a little bit more power, a little bit more health, kind of somewhere in between where it was when it was overly meta and before it was not very popular. This item I still think is extremely stat efficient, although
Stone
people
Gaia?
sometimes struggle
Oh,
to
right,
find
you're right,
the
my
right
bad.
slot in their builds to use it. So I think just with these new options, it really starts to be more appealing compared to some of its other competitors.
Yeah, gotta find that niche spot that it fits in, and then really like fly with it. That's awesome. So moving on, finally,
Snowball's
away from
staring
the
you
tank,
guys
we have
down.
the Staff of Mirden, and that increases its passive.
A buff?
Yes. So the Staff of Mirden rework came out in 8.7.
Damn.
To many Hebo Bumba's Hammer memes, we nerfed it in PTS, and it was over nerfed, mainly in the fact that we made it the window where you can utilize as uncapped.
Yeah, I was bad at using it. I've never. Well, I don't use it effectively. I'll be honest.
4 seconds to play with it rather than the previous 7.
Somebody will not turn on
And so
me.
we think that this item definitely deserves to have a bit more play with it. Definitely has more room for experimentation.
Dude, Discordia with that shit in her 3 is gonna be fucking hilarious.
On PTS. We still have a few other reverse that we could do to bring it back to PTS strength, but this is one of the more major nerfs that we had applied to it. So 6 more seconds to play with it. That means
We're just going over items right now. It doesn't really affect Duel too much.
It's also going to decay slower down to that 40%. So just more room to play with.
I'm just petting Snowball right now, honestly.
To be thrown. Awesome. So next
You think
up, we have
Ajax
a buff
ever
for
washes that
dominance,
sweater?
actually,
No.
some basic attack penetration.
Come on, give it a buff.
Increase. How's that working, Ajax?
Whoa,
This item, now, you
15%?
might
Yes.
initially look at this and
I
be
like that.
15% pen. You can't do
I like
that.
dominance. Mainly because of the name, but
this is basic attack.
it's in the Transcendence tree,
So
which means I
factor into your
inherently
total
love it.
pen cap. So doing a slightly more doesn't really throw off your build. This is just a nice, clean buff that will stack with any level of pen build.
Do you want
We've
out,
been
buddy?
seeing hunters starting to pick up Titan's Bane.
No, you can
which
get out if you
kind
want.
of signified to us that
I'm not
dominance
holding
is
you
not
prisoner.
quite doing its job, because really
You wanna
dominance
get
is
up?
intended to be the basic attack focus
You want
percent
up?
penetration item.
It's up
But
to
we've
you,
done some
buddy.
shifts over the years. We had Atalanta's used to add more percent pen.
Hi.
That's been nerfed. So players were just
You want
struggling
up?
to find that right level of percent pen.
I don't know what he
build.
wants.
We wanted dominance to be one of
Is
those
this comfy to
options.
you?
So we are going ahead and increasing that in this way. I think this item is looking very strong right now. I hope we start seeing it show up in builds. But you know,
I'll build it,
it's got a
Ajax.
slightly interesting group of stats that for some reason has been a little bit hard to get hunters to fully buy in on it. We're hoping that this will make a difference.
Awesome. Sounds good to me.
Thank you, Jeremy.
So next up, we
No,
have the
he just
Vampiric
left.
Shroud, and it's getting a nerf actually. We're
All right,
increasing
someone
some
redeem his
magical
points, please.
power from that.
Yep, we gave it some love, and it became the go-to option.
Sorry,
We saw
buddy.
the Pro
That
League
was some bad
especially,
timing.
They really bought into it. The first week of play with it, we saw kind of 50-50, but everyone kind of
Figures magical power from 30 to 25.
Really
I'm not a huge fan of Amp Shroud.
Power reduction to make sure that
No, honestly, it's more so because
of the physical procs.
I think this is still definitely
And the
go-to
upgrade,
if you're
like
playing
Blood
more
Soaked,
bruisers
pisses me
or
off a
lethal.
lot.
But for mid mages, you have a
Not
better
enough
play
to,
now
like,
to go either Sans
mad about it,
or
but-
Gem, which is going to get its
So
own
I
buff
literally
later on as well.
rushed out of the shower to make it here.
Awesome.
I made it
Love
just
that
in time, dude.
situational Stuff. So next
Like,
up,
holy
there's
crap, I just went and got
Bloodsoaked Shroud
groceries.
nerf, and that's getting some decrease.
Yes, thank you.
And mana.
That is
Yeah,
literally
why don't you
exactly what I
go
was looking
through this
for.
one
I don't know if
too?
I think
Just
it's promise
talk about
though.
Vamp.
So this one's pretty similar too.
Can't say
We
how to
buffed
refund
it.
it.
We
Dude,
gave
I'm
like
sorry, that was
a
just terrible
more
timing,
buff
dude.
to a more percent
Make sure you time it properly.
Works well with like bruiser or tank.
To be fair, I was petting
builds,
him the whole time.
and it was just providing too much efficiency when you went this. You could hit a wave with 2 abilities and get a quarter of your health back, a quarter of your mana back. It's pretty impactful, so we're just taking some of the edge off that. Still
Pump
gonna
on,
be
have you
really
ever
valuable, way
seen
more than
Bancrofts?
The previous version of Bloodsoaked Shroud, but not so dominant.
Do you know that item is still in the game?
Awesome.
No.
Shout out to the Shrouds. Next up, we have the Conduit Gym, and it's getting a buff with a little more magic power. How's that working, Ajax?
We're just. in
I'm
there
looking at this from a
always
dual
tweaking
perspective, by the
little
way.
amounts with these starter items, right? I know these
Okay.
look like.
Let me make a statement before we continue this. I have a biased opinion in terms of Duel. I'm not saying like, oh, this shouldn't be nerfed, this shouldn't be changed. Other than the fucking Duel map, I'm not gonna make a statement about it. I'm just talking about it like how it's gonna affect Duel in my opinion. I'm not saying that, oh, they shouldn't have done this, they shouldn't have balanced this because it's like this in Duel. Like, it's not balanced around Duel. So before we continue, remember that, okay?
Options, and depending on your god or your place.
Yeah, I know, Barack, dude. It's not showing up for most people, my videos. Most of my videos for people. It's acting with the front
We're
setting.
bringing down Vamp and up Conduit. trying to find that nice level point. I know we're never going to be perfectly 33-33 with these like starter splits, but we like that there's always options, that things are always shifting, and they have
I like
big
it.
impacts on
I like the
meta too, so
starters
these are
more
really
than I
exciting
did the
changes.
blessings,
We really
but
appreciate our player feedback and data. And
I don't
helping
like
us
the
make
meta
those
as
decisions.
much with the starters.
Always good to see the players.
Starters are definitely more
be
fun
like,
though.
hey, maybe this one. So speaking of maybe this Mannequin Scepter, this
Don't buff
is
it,
getting
please.
It seems like there's a lot going on here.
Oh god, what does it say?
Yeah, so this is really just for feels changes. The basics of this, how this will work is, at the start, when you're jungling with Mannequin Scepter, you're trying to apply the burn so that they die with the burn on them. But sometimes, like, you can feel like they're burned, but they die, and then you don't get any health heal. Well, it's because the burn kind of fades off right at the very tail end. And so this is just adding a little bit extra forgiveness. This isn't extra damage.
It's not a huge deal. I was scared, man. Mannequins is just kind of... Mannequins is really strong in Duel. There's a few things that are strong in Duel.
Especially when you're clearing at the start.
Mannequins is good.
Like, lower attack so you have to be very deliberate with your applications of Mannequin Scepter. Just a nice quality of life buff for actual early clear, like levels 1.
And cross are Bumbas. Bumbas is
awesome.
OP
Got a
late game,
quality
but...
of life bump. Next up is Boomba's Dagger.
Duel just, in my opinion, feels a lot more
well.
balanced than it was.
How's that looking, Ajax?
Animosity.
So this one we've been seeing less of, and really the main advantage to buying this item was to be able to buy boots with it.
No,
now you
never
can't do
mind.
that, so it doesn't really have that main goal.
I swear to God, if they buff Bumba's fucking hammer, dude, I'm gonna
most efficient
punch my goddamn monitor.
Item. We want this one to be the one where you like, I need the most boost to my jungle clear and not that many other stats at the beginning of the game. Boomba's Dagger is the one. So we're
Boombas? Have I been saying it wrong the whole fucking time?
In both the basic attacks and the abilities.
Oops.
Now, some people might still be worried about, can I buy Boomba's Dagger if I'm not so stoked about the upgrade?
Shit, I've been saying it wrong the whole time.
The next balance points that Pon's
Is it Boombas or Bumbas?
Why don't you talk about both of those upgrades for us?
Boom, 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 boom,
We're
Boombas.
buffing the Boomba's upgrades as well.
Boomba.
There's some very interesting stuff coming.
Boom.
Yeah,
boom.
So,
bum. I see bum, not boom.
So kind of hopping into the next point is, we've gotten feedback, especially from junglers, where they feel like upgrades, they often actually just sell the starter for another.
Don't you dare fucking buff it, Pon. I swear to God.
And some cooldown reduction is very
Please don't.
attractive compared to potentially going for.
I know where you're going here.
Looking for tanky stats, and so we're looking to shift them around to make sure that they feel good to upgrade into, and to also kind of carve out an really do with these starters, which was if you're an assassin and you're burst assassin.
One of these days, Pon. One of these days.
Hidden Blade does that a little bit, but the Bumbas really don't at all. So first things first.
Our plan is to move Duel to the assault map. We will be removing Anemians and towers. We hope this decision will allow for more creative gameplay.
Bumbas Spear is getting a huge shift. No longer provides any health, but to make up for that, it's getting 10% penetration, it's getting 10 more physical power, it's getting 15 more physical power, or magical power, and the buff...
Okay, I kind of like that. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm not that concerned that Bumbas is 20%. That's honestly not that big of a deal. I'm more at the end of the day, typically, you're gonna have max cooldown before you finish Bumbas anyways, if you're going into that route. But if you really play back late game, and you play it off that, it's still gonna be better, obviously, but it's still annoying. How did they even decide this stuff? Because it's not based on Duel, dude. If Bumbas is better and worse in Conquest than it is in Duel, and they buff it, it's not a big deal.
Protector of the Jungle, that's also getting a buff, actually.
As long as it's not game breaking for Duel.
This one is a series of reverts from previous nerfs, and what we often like to do is when we see an item fall out of favor, we go back to someplace.
I feel like the jungler items were so undiverse last time I watched this build. I don't know if they've changed now, but
protection increase that you get from this item is staying at 12, but we're giving it a little
bit
more power.
I know what I'm doing in terms of
a little bit percentage power from the passive, as well as the base physical and magical power. Really, we want to see it compete with the other items, right? And even though Eye of the Jungle is popular right now, still people were selling it for other items. So want these to be able to compete with other tier 3 items, want them to compete with other starters. Bumbas Spear might be the new go-to power item, but we know that pros are really onto the Eye right now, and they weren't that stoked about the upgrades, so we're wanting both of those as well.
Awesome, yeah, and let's move forward with a Seer of the Jungle buff, too.
Yep, so Seer of the Jungle getting a similar amount of treatment, getting the extra 10 power, 15 magical power, and also getting a longer duration. This is the ward clear one, where if you clear your camp, you can actually go clear wards potentially on Fire Giant. That window at 10 seconds when it initially launched was really, really short. 15, you still had you really felt the pressure to try and go clear. 20 gives you some more flexibility, helps your team come in and relieve pressure so you can actually clear the wards. And again, just getting the extra power. We think this is a very strong potential effect, so we just want to make sure that we temper any buffs with it with that kind of understanding in mind.
Yeah, awesome. Super cool. So next up,
I thought that guy's name said Hyra's daddy.
A buff as well. Looks like a cost decrease and some basic attack power.
Yeah, so recently we adjusted the whole arrow tree quite a lot.
I've been meaning to try Gilded Arrow a little more in Duel. There's some videos I want to try.
Powerful. It took people a little while to figure out, but once
they Bubba's hammer to me. Every time you auto attack after an ability, it resets all your cooldowns by 1 second.
That really brought the item out of favor. We don't want to fall into the same trap again by giving it too much gold, but we do want to give it some stats to compensate. So it's going to be a little bit cheaper to buy at the beginning, and it's going to do a little bit more basic attack damage because I don't know. This starter item is really fun. I think it's really good. It's been one of my favorite ones throughout the year. And it made me sad to see it fall so out of favor. So hopefully this brings it back. I still think
please make sure to, if anyone makes even jokes about spoilers from the actual notes, ban them instantly,
this one's risky when we see it everywhere. I think we would all agree with that. So just a nice little buff here to bring back those arrows.
Get that out of the way before we continue, because I don't want people. Awesome. I want to come into this fresh, you know.
I think, Pawn, can we get a shirt reveal? I think we need a shirt reveal. People are wanting.
Oh, yeah. This is it's an astronaut holding up the globe. Just one of the shirts I have. It's like an Into the AM shirt, I think. Yeah. It's really
Into the AM. Like my shirt's Into the AM as well.
The AM fucking sucks.
My shirt's Hawaiian, even though it's not Friday.
Yeah, I just like the shirt a lot.
I was sponsored by them for so long.
I mean, too.
And they wouldn't give me. I was one of their highest selling partners or whatever, and they wouldn't increase my rates that I'd get paid. It was absurd.
How's that working?
I sold like $40,000 worth of clothing to them for them, and they wouldn't up my percentage, even though they're like, oh yeah, we don't do that anymore. Even though they did it for Weekend, they did it for like everyone else. Fuck, that pissed me off.
And so we think with a little bit extra gold here to incentivize that playstyle, we can see pretty heavy swings of gold off really good engagements.
Isn't Warflag like OP in Arena right now?
I feel like this is a viable option. I know Benevolence has really been dominating that slot, but we're also...
Wait, why did they just shout out his shirt? I'm confused.
Starters feel viable.
Yeah, starters really are getting all kinds of love this time around.
Was there a point to that?
We
There's
also
48 of them. There's so many to adjust.
Was it like a shout out to MTAM or?
At like 2 handfuls at least.
I mean, it's a cool fucking shirt. I'll give it that.
Benevolence. It's getting kind of a
oh my god, I forgot it's not doing anymore.
Like Ajax.
Yeah, really, this is a nerf in the case of people who are using this item in an unintended way, I guess I'd say. So we're decreasing the total amount of experience and gold you earn from anything when you have Benevolence. You're just going to earn less. However, that is going to give a little bit more to the ally. We didn't want to make this item a net negative, like its whole goal is that it's a net positive. Yeah. But people were using this too often in a solo capacity, not necessarily the solo lane, but people just buying this with no intent to share the resources with their team. Just buying this
ever heard of Duel?
For the stats and for the golden experience and for the ability to upgrade it into some very powerful upgrades, which, you know, spoiler alerts, more
Cam a little
coming.
Oh, yeah,
so
sure.
This is going to be a big nerf to people not really playing true support and not staying close to their team.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Teamwork OP. You just got to stay together. That's all there is to it. So next up, Animosity getting a nerf. Looks like some decreased damage proc. Pawn, explain that.
Well, essentially the shit was bullshit in Duel, and we kind of realized how broken the item was. And essentially, we realized maybe it's also OP in other modes. So, instead of having hunters build this fucking item constantly, it's meant to be for Guardians, you know? Not to fucking destroy anything as a solo laner. Okay, there we go.
Potentially a negative experience
like here or something.
Early on in the season. We just wanted to kind of get ahead of that build, taking it down from 4% to 3%, just making it, if you're going to go for it, it's not going to be quite as effective if you're going like a hunter trying to get some extra like chin size type.
I'm kidding. I don't even, like the last time I played Conquest, hunters would build it.
Cool.
I don't play enough Conquest anymore.
So next up we have Heid of the Anemian Lion. It is getting a buff, so shout out tanks. What's that buff?
Let me go up
like?
Here.
Oh, here we go. So I know that this will probably create a very long Reddit discussion about this item because we can't really touch it without going there. We don't have any interest in returning to reflect damage. We just aren't planning on doing that. Whatever we feel about this item, we don't plan to return to
100,
damage. So I think that the pros, Olympians, everyone has been in agreement that reflect damage was not a very fun mechanic and not a good way to counter each other on an item. However, we have had this item feel a little underwhelming lately, so we are reverting one of the specific things we did before, which is
I don't like
how
block
easy it
stacks
was to get
either. I
block
agree.
stacks. Making that a little easier to get, lowering the total protections you need to get those multiple stacks.
I
Remember, if you have more physical,
I don't know what I like
protection,
more, like reverting damage, like or
block stack. Also just increasing the physical protection again. Block stacks
reflecting
can
damage.
be really powerful.
Block stack. Block stacks are a pain in the ass. There's no
It's
worse
still a very
feeling than
hotly
you just
debated,
go to
like, are
last
block
shot
stacks
someone.
too easily countered? Are they too hard to counter?
Block.
I know there's a lot of high variance over it and a lot of discussion.
You
over
ever
this
fucking
item,
tried to
but we
box a
feel like just
Bologna?
making
That
sure
shit's not
solos
fun.
and supports have another physical protection option that feels a little better. That we know that's going to be good right now. We want them to have that, and especially in a high pen build, block stack with hunters are building very high pen right now. Block stacks can be really good because it negates the whole attack, whereas building just protections only can negate part of that attack. So I do think this passive has a lot of merit and a lot of strength.
Well, this still is not going to be built in Duel because it's not meant for Duel.
Ever agrees with me on this one, we'll find out. So
yeah,
hopefully this buff helps though.
It's also a bit healthier.
I love Ajax.
To, like, build in this scenario too, because Shell
Ajax is a good guy.
block stacks anymore, so you don't have that whole like staggering shells to get block stacks, and this filled the in between.
Hung out with him at Worlds
now
before.
Really the only way for you to,
a few times. I met his family actually. Funny enough.
So it's also probably a bit healthier now versus.
It was just coincidence. I wasn't like on a date.
As a tank player, I love watching like the first 2 crits just roll right off.
I was in the VIP line, and me and Trelly were just hanging out.
All right, so
and we got into a conversation with these people in line.
Also getting a buff.
Like, oh yeah,
let's get into that.
Ajax is my brother or something like that, and it was. I don't know if it was his parents. I don't remember.
It just never was quite there, and always. So we think it's just
60 to 80.
Bit of an update. So one is
15% of the holders maximum health, dude.
Make sure that the shield has a bit.
Dude, that's huge. I literally just did a fucking video on this shit today, man. Today, I made a video with I built Bulwark on that video, and now like imagine that. How much health you're gonna have with a full health build. That's exciting for memes, bro.
So the next one, Stone of Foul buff. I see the word increased 4 times, so let's get into that.
Thanks, Galactic.
Yeah, this was one we recently reworked and hasn't really caught on, but we want to give.
Okay, this item isn't that important in Duel. I'm gonna go pee really quickly.
This one's now just gonna have better protection stats as well as a slightly better passive. Which keep in mind that passive does stack and then multiply itself once you get it up to max stack. So you can build a lot of mitigations from this item. This item seems really strong, but people didn't really pick it up at all. So we're trying a lot of buffs here to see where is it really going to show up? Who can make use of this? How is it going to work out? Personally, I'm a support main. I think, working in basic attacks into your ability rotation is a really important part of support. And this is an ability that rewards that playstyle. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of the different supports trying different things. Maybe Sylvanas will enjoy this item a lot.
Sylvanas, am I fucking pronouncing everything wrong?
Yeah, Athena Reach as well.
Right, there are some really cool applications with this as well. So excited to see this item. I feel like when we launched it, there was a lot of discussion, but we didn't really actually see much usage. So excited to actually see some usage this time around.
Yeah, a lot of good room for play. So that does it for the normal items. We have a few relics that have been touched on. The first one is Bracer of Radiance, actually, and it's getting a buff not only to how it affects the game, but also
is that what it
how
looks like?
In game.
Yep. So Bracer Radiance, both it and its upgrade are going to get some buffs, but it also got some new artwork. The previous purple kind of voidy feel.
Goodbye, Bracer.
The Radiance feel, so now that's been updated.
It's nice knowing you for that many years.
Yep. Right. And then you also have the increase to the movement speed aura on the base. So the idea here is
I like the design of that though. It looks really cool.
Bracer of Radiance actually pick up some play. People have been trying it out, and those that do have actually succeeded pretty well with it. But it's not quite as popular compared to other choices. So we want to make sure that the impact that you feel when you actually utilize this relic in game is there. So the base version is going to
I like the look of it a lot though. It's fresh.
Upgraded, where the upgrade is going to get both portions, both the movement speed aura.
Wait, what did Bracer originally look like?
Stronger. So you drop this in the middle of a team fight, you drop it around Fire Giant, your team's base of operations is going to be much stronger, essentially.
Yeah, it's been a fun item to use for exactly what you said, dropping in Fire Giant, or actually I use it for escaping a lot.
Never mind, it doesn't look as cool.
But still super cool to see. And next up is
kind of, I don't know, the aura's better,
Spear,
but like the gem has less detail.
Are getting a nerf, it seems.
Oh, who saw that coming?
Oh yeah, we've heard a lot about Sunder since the rework and the buffs and changes. We nerfed it a lot in the PTS, and we are here to nerf it again just a little bit more, focusing first on the cooldown for the base one, and then the upgrade is also decreasing the damage amplification. So we're liking.
I like Sunder though, man. I like Sunder metas.
A little too overbearing.
It gives other gods,
and it needs to
a better
down
chance. Like, do you guys remember the Thorns and Sunder meta? Literally, fucking anybody could win. You could play any god and win with that shit. If you like outplay the other person with Thorns and Sunder, it was annoying, but it was fun for a time. It was like, pretty abusable.
Than at the older versions of Sunder, where people were using it to just
I remember me and
kill each other.
TSM Daquan actually fought each other a lot during that meta.
Team fight relic. It has a very unique skill shot.
I think
Myth
played Duel too.
Can't be missed, but this one sure can. Yeah. So definitely needed a nerf, but we're going to be careful there and keep an eye on it.
I'm okay with the Sunder nerf, but
well, that does it for the items. We're getting into the gods now. We're getting into the.
If you fucking touch Uller, Dandy, I swear to God.
The first god getting a nerf.
I got some axes back there.
Love to see her nerfed, I guess. Tiamat. Let's talk about that nerf.
Yeah, so Tiamat saw lots of pro play for a very long time because of her split push.
I will never like Tiamat. I hate a mage.
And since then, she's been definitely highly contested, fairly strong.
Literal fucking mitigations. I hate mitigations, man.
The feedback we've gotten on her has been
on a mage.
We're still seeing her succeed. We're still seeing her overperform.
I hate it.
So we're just looking to hit specifically consume an outburst. These are her tank ground stance abilities. So her.
And we'll do no, showing gods and stuff.
Knock-up wave that happens. Formerly known as Chomp Chomp. Just the amount of damage you can do while you're in. Yeah, the damage you could do while you're in that ground stand that you're here was just too high, and so we want to make sure that if you're going to be trading your offense for your defense, that feels like you've actually made that transition, and enemies can more fight you directly.
Who am I kidding? I don't give a fuck if they nerf Uller. It's not like you can fucking play him in Duel.
20% overall on that combo.
6 goddamn bans.
That's a big damage nerf.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Next up is Raijin, and looks like the scary drummer is getting a nerf.
One of the most picked and played mages in the Pro League, as well as in the ranked queues, absolutely dominant right now. Taking down just this Raiju tick damage a little bit. Raijin is a very fickle god, as we've buffed and nerfed him. Small amounts of damage can really send him flying in lots of different directions. We recently made some adjustments to Raiju's overall.
I need to get some posters, bro.
Effect and its duration, the way it works, which I think we're really smart.
Rexsi. How is
but
your
this damage here is still
good, man.
really high, especially when you're hitting with the.
It's not excited about last weekend.
We're just bringing this down a little bit, and
I feel like naked in my apartment now. Like, look at them all. They have all sorts of posters and shit. That is the only thing on my wall in my apartment, other than.
But it's going to be ramping down
like a Viking
rank 5 because Raijin's
Scandinavian
is insane as well.
Triple.
So
it's sick.
I think this is the right direction for this god.
Cool. I'll be less afraid of him late game. Noted. So the next one is everybody's favorite giant.
I like that guy's shirt.
Jormungandr, and getting a buff. Nothing wrong with that. How's this buff looking, Pon?
Yeah, so Jormungandr getting quite the series of buffs. We've seen him be very performative. Yeah. We nerfed him quite heavily, and since then he hasn't really ever come back from those nerfs. We've given him a few buffs here and there, but they haven't really helped him out. So we're just gonna.
Except I would not rock a full metal. I wouldn't rock an anime poster. That's not stuff I'd do. I don't know.
We made,
I love anime and everything, but I would never hang up anime posters.
Frustrating. So general increased basic attack damage all the way
just
up
from me though.
10.4 to 11.2. This is a full revert back to his.
I am curious to see Storm with the upgraded Gilded dude. Ooh.
Venomous Haze. So this is the cloud ability. Why often you can't stand it and take the full damage. If you do, it's pretty intense. This will help him mostly in wave control.
And power basic attack buff from stack.
And finally, consuming bellow. We're reverting back the scaling that it used to provide for consuming different venomous hazes.
That's a pretty fucking big buff.
Now, instead of providing 15% scaling bonus damage, it's now 30% scaling bonus damage.
Jesus.
Letting it chunk a bit harder, letting you feel that impact more intensely. As well as we're also
you feel that impact.
Basic attacks, where you get to breathe at full strength. You can now have that for up to 6 seconds.
I actually thought of like commissioning one of those things of like you get like the royal like cats or dog, like you put your pet in the frame, and it's kind of like a drawing your pet.
Whew, that was a lot.
I was gonna put it in the laundry room or like right above his fucking litter box.
I guess so. Make sure to hydrate. All right.
My man, dude, I like this guy. I like this guy.
Buff looks like to shield bash and scourge. So how's that working, Ajax?
Yeah. Bologna has also surprisingly fallen off and just not come back. There's a couple times where we thought she might show up with some of the new itemization, the new changes to the solo meta, but she hasn't really been able to find her footing. We were looking back at her kit and trying to analyze, what went wrong. And we were noticing these cooldowns are really long for Bologna, likely a result of her absolutely extremely strong launch. But we bringing those down on both Shield Bash and Scourge, more so on Scourge.
Dude, Hi-Rez Dandy kind of looks like Ed, and it's freaking me out.
Cool weapon transformations more often.
He looks like an American version of Punk Duck.
Physical power scaling on Shield Bash, and I know the 10% scaling on a warrior sometimes feels like a meme, but it really does make a difference. When we make that buff, we are generally being very
hold on.
10% scaling on an ability on a warrior. It makes a difference.
I need to find a picture of Ed that isn't him fucking
really
pooping.
Itemization, and I'm looking forward to seeing Bologna back on the battlefield.
Me too. I love Bologna. I love so many of her skins, so it'll be nice to see.
Well, because Ed's just started growing facial hair too.
Next up is Amaterasu, and Ajax. I don't know if you care about.
How did we order it so I don't get?
I don't think he has pictures of his face with the beard though yet. Shit.
You get to go.
Yeah.
It's because I threw you multiple items at the beginning. No, I mean, Pond was obviously very well equipped to talk about this change. And honestly, it's a lot of similar messages.
Amaterasu buff.
Bologna. One of the things that we're really excited about this buff is increasing Amaterasu's
I hate Amaterasu, dude.
Amaterasu has always been kind of like a hybrid basic attacker. She's not quite Osiris, but she's not quite full ability. And we're actually going to be pushing her a little bit more towards the basic attack synergy. It works really well with her passive. It helps her build her charge on her mirror. It gives her more itemization options. So we're giving her a little bit more attack speed. That's per level. So you're going to see that add up over the scope of the match. Also, just a slight decrease on Glorious Charge. That was, again, an ability that was thought of as pretty strong during her meta phases. But now that she's fallen off a little bit, we feel like this is a safe place. And 18 seconds is just very long, even for an ability like Glorious.
I'm so curious about the new god, man. Holy shit.
Movement, still very long.
New god. I'm hoping they revert Duel. Or at least change the fucking map.
Out there and hopefully getting some picks in the Pro League again.
Well,
why does Ajax like Amma so much? Amma.
So
is it just a meme?
Next up,
I gotta ask
Scotty
him.
buff. What's happening with Scotty in the pup? How's that looking, Pon?
Yeah, so Scotty, one of the hunters, I think she might be on the list of hunters that she hasn't seen competitively.
Thank God for 6 bands.
But a hunter that has high potential, but hasn't quite really been there in Season 8. And so we just want to make sure we give some buffs to her to help her better compete.
Didn't they say there was another Nickelodeon collab this year?
Caldier's base attack damage is now going to go from 40% to 80% to 50%.
I swear to God, they mentioned that last year.
Your 1 or your permafrost.
Like when they
damage from Caldier if you control it well. But then also we're lowering the
when they like gave like a teaser or whatever.
Primary wave clear and
maybe they just mentioned a battle pass. Maybe it's the Stranger Things, but I thought they said a Nickelodeon thing. Maybe it was just
quite the big buff for her.
Azula.
Yeah, think she's gonna be looking.
I thought they said the name was Nickelodeon though. Maybe it was just Azula.
So next up, and just I don't know why he did a Thoth buff. He's already scary and loud. But what are we doing? How's it working?
Thoth is a very interesting god because he never really performs very well in most metrics, but he is really scary in the right hands. He's a high skill cap god, and when players play him well, they are rewarded for it. This buff is relatively small, just looking to
high skill cap god.
This Glyph of Pain has a very specific uses. Increased bonus,
at least in Duel. Conquest he's hard, but
notice, by the way,
Duel is clear the wave.
Ability damage,
ult from everywhere. Poke him with
this basic
gem and then
just to round out his lane clear and actually a little bit of his jungle clear.
Root him in place.
Thoth can really struggle to solo clear camps, especially.
Isn't that used to silence or something?
Red buff. Even once he gets some items online,
or stun.
This is a way for him to help get a little bit more damage and hopefully not cause him to get to the point where we are all terrified of him again, because
Charlie's an animal.
Too hard. So a very light touch here, mostly quality of life, mostly for some specific interactions, and hopefully nothing to really shake things up too much.
Yeah, I'll be keeping my eye on Scary Bird. So next up, Baba Yaga, quality of life improvement. How is Baba Yaga main lives getting easier?
Yep, Home Sweet Home will now be able to walk over minions. The cabin
Shoutouts to Reddit.
Legs.
Wait, she couldn't walk through minions?
She used to be able to walk over the minions, and now she can. So it's there, especially when when you're using the house, it can be hard to even see that minions are.
It's not on 60 Hz anymore. Oh my God.
Makes sense.
Oh shit! I wish I asked him about his reaction
and
stuff.
Also, it doesn't. You're not punished for not being able to see past the block.
I didn't realize. Yeah, that should have been a thing. The fucking thing is giant.
Cool. I'll make sure to use that to run away and get over that lane of minions that was blocking me. So next up, we have Susanoo getting a buff. So Ajax, what's Susanoo doing better these days?
Amaterasu and Susanoo getting buffs. Man, Tsukiyomi must be jealous. The whole thing, he's getting left out. So Susanoo.
Thank you for the prime sub, dude.
Players might have very scary memories, but I assure you, those memories are in the distant past. Susanoo's stats have been looking pretty low for quite a while now. We know how versatile this god can be, so we are being really careful. Just getting a little bit of base damage on his Wind Siphon and
20 to 25 early game is gonna be so nice.
Make those impacts in team fight and help.
Early game's so important right now.
This god is really at the bottom of the list right now. Surprisingly,
Wind Siphon's is 2, right? I don't know the name of abilities,
but got to be careful with Susanoo, and we will always be careful with Susanoo.
Definitely a 0 to 100 kind of god. So next up, Artio getting a buff. How's our bear person looking?
Getting some nice buffs. So Energy Surge and Maul Prey, getting a pretty.
Yeah, I figured the second was 2.
12 seconds to 10. 10 is a very low cooldown ability.
What's going on down here?
Potent, especially the Maul Prey ability.
What the fuck is with this guy's face?
Heavy Charge is actually getting a charge speed increase. So right now it's increases your movement speed by 75%, and then you charge forward with that movement speed. It's going to 100%. It's not quite as intense as you might think because it has DR components towards it, but just know that she's going to be charging.
What the fuck is going on with this guy's face?
Getting her primary damage abilities up more.
Is he smiling or is he in pain?
Lane, especially when she's supporting.
What is with this guy? Is he okay?
A lot to be afraid of in the bear part of Smite.
Is he a zombie?
So yeah. You laugh and
that is a happy zombie.
Next up, speaking of animals, I guess we have Kuzymbo, who's a turtle, not a bear, but still scary. Getting a buff.
I'm scared of everything.
Watch that Nene, because it's going to be doing more damage here. Increased base damage on the throw, so specifically the actual projectile.
Nice.
You know, Kuzymbo has had.
It should do more damage each time it bounces off.
He can do quite a lot of damage with his.
Like more damage per, unless it's the same target.
Pushing enemies through the wave, but. This ability
I think that would be genius. Same with Hu Yi.
Poke, so we're getting
it shouldn't do like the base amount,
as well as
like if it hits it just once. Like if you hit a triple ricochet with Kuzymbo, you deserve a little more damage.
You
know?
Yeah,
Kuzymbo. You really never know what's going to happen with Kuzymbo. Honestly, he is a very unpredictable god. But we know.
Should I put Twitch chat on screen?
At the bottom of the charts and not very popular for a little.
I don't know if people on YouTube
really
will want that or not.
Looked hard to find something that we thought could bring him back up without causing too many problems. And here we are with this Nene Kappa throwing buff.
Yeah, like you said, you got to watch that Nene because he can turn into a horror. You don't see him for 10 games, then he shows up and like ruins your whole game. So. But I'm sure
you guys have to have some crazy reactions though over things.
Just sitting here.
If some crazy stuff happens.
Last but not least, we have Nija getting a buff. So House Flaming Spear looks like it's doing better. How about that?
Yeah, so Flaming Spear gain that big cooldown reduction. Generally, you're maxing the 1 and the 3 to make sure you're getting a bit more damage out. And so you're often sitting on rank 1 of Flaming Spear. And at 18 seconds with more lower scaling on all of its components, it can feel like a stim that isn't really rewarding to pop.
Oh my god, he looks so much like Ed.
It's going to feel a lot better, especially when you're going to get that.
I'm going to Snapchat him, see if he can Snapchat me.
You're going to be able to box more effectively with it. You're not going to feel so kind of slow on your damage output based off just having this at rank 1. So rounding out Naja, especially her boxing or his boxing capabilities. So big buff there.
Yeah, sounds good. You know what they say? 18 seconds in MOBA seconds is like 45 minutes or something. I don't know the exact math.
But it is a long cooldown.
Very long cooldown.
Well, not anymore. But not as of August 24th when all of these balances are going to drop. So because that actually covers the balance. We've done it. We've made it through balance. That was a lot.
Yeah. Big one.
So I know, make sure to hydrate. So if you missed any of that or want to be able to read it again for yourself, make sure to check those update notes because they're going to be going live. But all of this comes out August 24th. So you'll have some time to prepare, have some time to figure out what you're going to be doing.
Hopefully Ed responds.
So next up, we're actually going to talk about something that I hear AJ might be excited about. We're bringing back the Chinese Joust Map. I actually believe, isn't this the map that launched in Season 3?
This is, and I know there is a lot of people who will be very excited for this map. I've been very closely monitoring the Joust experiment.
Yes!
Funny enough,
thank God! Wait, not just Joust, right?
Successful. We saw
it's for
quite a nice
Duel, right?
Boost in gameplay numbers.
Shut up.
Those numbers sustained for quite a while.
Oh my God! Thank God.
Really dropped below what they were before. We got a little boost, and then we came back to average. which is a nice little thing to see what happens when you change up a map.
Oh.
Now, a lot of people were very vocal about disliking lots of elements of that class.
Yeah, no
map.
shit.
And I've also heard from a lot of people who were very excited to have that map back.
Shut up.
They potentially didn't use Reddit as much as the people who dislike Classic Joust, but that's fine. Either way, we always had planned on rotating.
I'm
through
so
the
fucking
Joust maps,
happy,
and
man.
I'm really excited to bring us to the phase 2 of this experiment, where the season 3
Ed didn't send me the
Chinese
best
Joust
picture.
map is
Look
going
at
to be
this.
returning. It's going to be replacing Classic Joust.
Dude,
It's going to
okay,
be the
Ed did
default
not take a
Joust
flattering
map,
picture, but
Duel
look.
and Joust for
He
normal,
looks like
co-op, and ranked
an American
matches.
version of
ranked
Ed.
Duel is going to be on this map as well. We're going to keep Classic Joust as well as Jade Corruption Joust available for custom matches. We are also going to be having a set of balance changes, and well, not nearly as many, but some
Dude, I'm
smaller
so
balance and
happy!
fight
Yes!
fixing and quality of life.
Snowball.
With Classic Joust, we really
Did you
like
hear?
where
They're
that map
changing
had a
Joust
problem
back.
that we're trying to solve, so we made a relatively
Oh,
big
I don't want to
gameplay
wait till the
feature change.
24th, though,
That's not really the
dude.
case with Chinese Joust.
But
You're
at
just
least
gonna
it's
get,
changing.
Change to the way XP splitting
Oh,
works
I'm
to
so
increase the
happy,
amount of
dude.
XP players get on the map to make it match a little
Have
bit
to
more
clean
like
up under
our
my
modern
desk.
maps.
There's jizz.
Outside of that,
Thank you,
this map
Dino,
is
for the
mostly
5
returning
months.
untouched.
S3 Joust
Part
Map
of us is a
Pod.
good thing.
I'm
right?
pumped, dude.
Right.
Well, that
Oh.
is awesome. I hope y'all are excited about it. I know I am. It feels like it's been a minute since I've been able to touch into that map, and I love it. So I'm excited. So next up,
Me too.
we have the skins. We have some skins from 8.8, the Ceaseless Whirlpool update. I'm super excited for. So stick around, and we'll get into that in just a sec.
It is like a waiting period. Yeah, buddy, it's coming back. Oh, dude, this is it. This is the map that got me started with, like, or really started with content creation. Before I was only making memes before I started doing Duel on this map. It's been so long, dude. It doesn't feel that long, but it's been years, man. I used this fucking trailer in one of my montages, I think. Oh, dude, it feels good. I hope they keep the XP camps by the Bull Demon, though. And what I think they should do is make that a ward. In my opinion. It makes it a lot more valuable, you know? I still, to this day, agree that that should have been a ward. Home sweet home, baby. I'm curious to see how much it holds up in comparison to the Season 7 map. Because I remember I didn't like the Season 7 map nearly as much as the Season 3 map. Okay, that's good. I like that.
Whew, how about that sticky note? How about that movie? Season 8, getting that map back. Welcome back, everybody. For those of you just joining, I am Titan Dandy, and we are now getting into the skins releasing in the 8.8 Ceaseless Whirlpool update, dropping August 24th.
Ed said no shot. He's like,
joined here by Bananimation and Brick Brack Paddywhack. Welcome, y'all, to. How are y'all doing?
Put your chin away, Ed.
Good. Good.
Hey,
you hear us?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing great. Awesome. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all two are both awesome animators for SMITE. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
SJ, thank you for the 18 months, dude.
Yeah.
Number one.
I'm super stoked to have both of y'all
Gifter.
here. Are y'all ready to talk about some cool skins?
Yes,
Hell
let's
yeah,
go.
let's get to it.
I'm pumped, man.
Nice. Awesome. So, the
Dude,
first skin we're getting
imagine
into
if they
actually is
showed-
with the brand new Sakura chest coming with the 8.8 update.
Imagine if one of the
And,
skins
that's gonna
that
have Sakura and
that me and Raijin made
yeah, just
we
look
got
at
put in
her.
the game, and I'd be so happy.
So pretty.
So
I would literally
Oh,
jump up and scream,
so
man.
beautiful. I
That'd be
love
so
the,
cool.
Like, the Sakura's in the background.
Maybe one day.
Like,
Who the fuck is this? Neath?
So awesome.
Is this Neath again?
Also kind of horrifying.
Yeah,
So
It's goddamn
Ooh,
Neath
look at
again.
it's so good. I love the Izanami one of those.
It's like they made fucking like 80, so many goddamn Neath skins. They're like, fuck it, let's just throw some robot parts at her. We've made so many goddamn
So
skins.
This map is back.
I swear to God, every patch there's a new one.
let's hear her voice line. Let's hear her.
Oh, I should probably move my cam.
Systems online. Threats assessed.
At least the audio isn't fucked every time there's patch notes, you know?
I think she's the threat. I think we've assessed that she is the threat. So.
I mean, look
Well,
at
Thank you, Linus. I'm so pumped too,
How
man.
could she not be? So next up,
Resident
we have the
sleeper,
Odyssey
dude.
chest coming with the new Odyssey and the 8.8 update, and
That's
Draconic
Thanatos?
Devastator Thanatos. Look at him and be scared.
Please don't
of him.
look terrible in game.
Yeah, definitely. This is my nightmare.
That looks pretty fucking similar to the one that I...
A dragon. Like
That looks
bone
kind of
wings,
similar.
kind of
The
like a-
bones. No! Now that there's bones, I'm not gonna use the other design I liked. Holy shit, that looks cool though.
That is so
That looks
cool.
really good.
Wow, that looks way better in game.
Love it.
That looks way cooler in game. That is rare to say.
I know there's all these skins
That looks cool.
to play new characters. I love the like segmented.
I like that a
between the
lot,
bones,
dude.
too. It
I
looks
like
so
that
good.
design, man.
Super cool.
Absolutely fantastic.
I like that
And
a
the,
lot.
purple
Wow.
Armor. I'm super in love with it. Awesome. Well, let's see what his voice line sounds like. Let's hear him.
Please don't be really stupid.
I stand for the order.
Looks like he floats for the order too. And
Hey.
probably
Yeah.
What?
Scythes for,
What?
Probably throw scythes for the order as well. Ooh.
Okay, quality jokes here.
All right. Well, that is super awesome. I'm horrified of seeing him float above me in game.
Raw?
And now we're into the Odyssey event. And
A
the
human
first part of the
Raw?
Odyssey
That's
of-
cool.
Odyssey event is a Mystic Magus Raw, and
Isn't that
oh, no.
the second human version skin? Wait, another Egyptian god with a human skin?
yeah, right. Check out the ab, looking so good. This is actually
Dude, why do his
I don't
legs
know,
look like
this is,
noodles?
Raw's first human skin, which is incredible. Like, so you can take him in a look he's never had before into the battleground, and I love like the way his back is.
I think
like
it's
that
cool to
floating
see like
circle.
certain gods as humans. That's definitely a really cool idea.
I love these.
I don't think it looks as cool as I expected, but
I totally agree.
other than his
Voice line's
liquid
great.
legs.
Let's hear what his voice line sounds like.
I see what is, what was, and what shall be.
I like that voice back
Portents
actually.
never lie. If you listen to them, together we shall triumph.
Sounds like to some degree similar to Samurai Jack.
He sounds calm and sure of himself. That's awesome. So this next skin, one that I've been so excited to see, we have Neat's biggest fan.
Oh my god, I thought she was about to.
Look at it. I'm so in love. It's so like.
That's fucking sick!
event,
What?
cosplay ready,
Finally a Zonqui
killing
skin
it,
and it's
insane.
actually really good? No way. I want to see
love
this
the
in
people
game.
in the
Please look good in game.
background.
Dude, that card art
Yeah,
is
I love
fucking
the, like,
sick.
all the peace signs. I love it. Plus, what a nice smile. Zonqui has such a like. How photogenic.
Ooh!
Oh,
That's
this is
even
so
better
good.
in
The only thing that's crazy
game!
about it is
Oh
I
my
thought
god!
Titan
Look at his
Titan's
belly
biggest fan
hair,
is
dude. That's
Smite,
fucking
which he
great.
has in, Smite, but
Dude, look at the
I guess
belly
Zonqui
hair.
Is, even better, even more devoted, but
Yeah,
such a
she's
great
got-
looking skin. And actually, I've heard that this skin has a new intro to match Neith's intro. So, you know,
This is
obviously
so
if you're gonna
good.
cosplay, you gotta know the move.
Yes, a
So,
good
and there are a lot of
Zonqui
neat
skin.
sound effects,
There hasn't been a good one in like 4
this as
years.
well that they're really gonna show through. So let's hear the voice line.
What do you mean? I'm Neith. Do you not recognize me?
I love that so much, and yeah, I do recognize you because you're really good at cosplaying. So that is so awesome. The next one is Valhalla Vice Heimdall. And just, I mean,
Oh
check
my
out this
god,
style.
he's got the fuck me eyes going.
So stylish.
This is like
Going
him
back
on
to the guy
Tinder,
with
and then we're about to
ears
see him in
actually
real
saying,
life in like
"You
5
rock."
seconds. He's gonna look terrible, guaranteed.
Just a fun
This
fact
is his
for y'all.
Tinder profile pic.
Someone just do that for
And
them.
then,
Yeah, right.
It's
I'm
not that
thinking of it,
bad,
I haven't
but
found anybody yet. But
card arts look so good, man, in
oh
comparison.
yeah, look at how awesome that looks. I love the like gilded axe, like the way the axe looks.
I feel like it had way more detail on the card art.
So
It always does.
I agree. As one sharp dressed hunter
A little
right there. Let's
crime, a little money, and a whole lot of fun.
This skin seems kind of basic. I mean, like the him holding the glass looked really cool, but like,
I need that
what's the
too.
point exactly of the skin? Like, what's the concept?
So awesome. All right, so the next one, another
He's
one.
just
There's
like
so
a
many things
celebrity,
I'm so excited
I guess?
About. We have Malwarm Jormungandr,
Ooh.
and I am just.
Oh,
excited.
what is that? That looks. What a cool
Hardcore
card
Joust
art.
Not just blabbing about everything all the time, and this is one of them. Super great skin, super excited for it, and actually a community concept from Jay Alejo. I'm terrible at pronouncing things, but it's again. Thank you so much for this concept. Everybody's so excited about it, and oh man,
That's
oh look at how good that looks.
that's cool, but
And
it's
the
definitely gonna
glitches.
be banned. And
yeah.
oh, it's gonna be hard to
Yeah, it
see.
looks
Is
so
like
good. I
his
absolutely love
model.
it. The horns are great. All the like fatal arrows.
It's really cool, but
that's so good. I'm again every time they
does
release
it do that every
I'm
time? The
amazed.
static
They
thing, because that's gonna be fucking annoying to play with.
Time for an update, so.
Zzz.
I'm right there with you.
Oh, super great. That is.
It's
I
cool,
love
but
it.
like I feel like playing that would get a little
let's
annoying, would it
see what
not?
the, voice line sounds like.
I don't know how to feel about this skin.
So many vulnerabilities to choose from. Which should I infect first?
The concept and everything is really cool, but
Well, Malwarm, you
practically, I don't know.
So don't worry about that.
Your heart.
I'm just playing that in the SMITE Optimizer app. We have to do that. Yes.
So next up, kind of an opposite. That's horrifying. Next up, we have a cutie, Kiro Donzaboro. And
oh my god, yes.
Yeah, everybody's favorite frog boy.
I've been waiting for this for so long. I love it.
I totally agree. It looks absolutely amazing. I love frogs. Oh, look at him! Oh,
it's so good.
That is so good. His chunky fingers
so
and his
cute.
Oh,
That's not something. I mean, I don't know. I'm not most excited about it. It's okay, I guess.
Another journey filled with danger and the unknown. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I would not have it any other way, and thank you. He has so much.
Fucking love frogs, man. Okay, if you like frogs, man, it's a cute skin. Wait, what? Why do we get to see his abilities?
I love how light on his face he always looks. So
know.
A super pretty skin. His abilities, some of his abilities involve lily pads. I've heard. Yeah, look at him.
That's it.
In there.
It's just some lily pads.
And then.
I feel like this is hardly any different. Okay, that's different.
And the gun is so pretty. Oh.
This does not feel a little underwhelming,
like a fish.
at least in my opinion.
It is like a fish. Yeah, I love how it comes out of a little kite.
Of all the abilities you're gonna fucking show, we show the frog
So good.
Zabru. Really?
I love all the
not the
sound effects.
Fatal Error Yorm.
What a great skin. That armor is so
more
cool.
dance.
Not that Thanatos.
He turns into look at all the lily pads and the little flower.
This 3 looks pretty cool actually.
Absolutely amazing. I'm so excited for this one. All right, but the next one's what I'm most excited about, and for obvious reasons, we have Toon Mania Cthulhu.
I need to see how the fuck this looks in game right now.
Oh my god.
I can't be excited about this enough. Cthulhu.
I'm so curious.
I mean, I could probably do a whole show on him alone. Look at him! Oh my god! His knobby knees. Look at how excited he is.
His butt.
Look at
his
him.
butt gets me.
Every time. Every time. Let's hear his voice on. Let's see what he has to say.
The world, it's mine for the taking.
Well, you can have it. You've earned it. Look at you. So this actually, part of this T5 is that he has 4 different characters, 4 unique characters. There's the base, which we just saw. There's the Aviator, which we're looking at now, and we're also going to see 2
This looks
more,
fucking terrible.
The Sheriff and the Greaser.
This is a
let's
tier fucking 5.
Voice line. So let's hear the voice line here.
Trust me, you don't want to see me go crazy.
What the fuck is this? This is the final Odyssey reward. We get Butt Cheeks Cthulhu.
I think I do want to see him go crazy.
I'm not a huge, like, in my opinion, I'm not into the whole fucking Cuphead shit.
Mustache.
I think the shadows and stuff just look bad, like, around the character model.
Just, all right, let's hear voice line 3. I can't, let's hear him.
This is the tier 5 for the Odyssey.
When we can be whoever we choose.
Oof. I mean, like, you can like it, man. That's on you. I'm just not a fan of this. Ugh.
And finally, we have the coolest.
This is what you're working towards with a tier 5?
I love.
We went from Archon fucking Thanatos to this?
So many good styles so far with all these.
Hey, y'all remember tier... No, wait, is this the tier 5 at the end of the Odyssey? Is it?
I cannot wait to be all of them.
There's no way.
Be the change you want to see.
I refuse to believe this is the end of Odyssey tier 5. No, there's no way, right?
So yeah, like I was saying.
No, I don't believe it is.
Unique characters, and these are
this is
based on
the
his
tier 5 of the
abilities.
Odyssey? I don't believe you.
Let's see it a little closer. How about it?
Yes.
Oh, look at him.
Okay, it actually looks a little better from that angle.
Look at
Okay, it looks a little better now.
Got a jaunty walk, yeah.
He does.
I kind of like it a little more. Like, I don't know, the angle when they were turning the camera, the shadows didn't look so good. This looks a little better though, but definitely not the best tier 5 I've ever seen.
But his abilities are what changed his outfit. So as you use his different abilities, you're going to swap into these different outfits, and you're going to stay that way until you use your next ability.
The shitting was better in it. Yeah, it looked a lot worse. It looks like better now.
I love such so much good work went into this.
That is like they clearly put a lot of effort into it. It looks pretty cool, but
his 2 he turns into the cannon. So many good things.
Yeah, in the game, wow, it looks a lot better. Okay, thank God, man. I was about to be so disappointed.
His ult, which y'all haven't seen yet. So let's see him get scary after he finished with his biplane tour of the jungle.
Okay, yeah, this is a lot cooler than. They really shouldn't have started with the arena.
Look at that. That is so.
That's pretty cool.
I love the noise.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Ooh, like the bones that come out.
Good. So that's Big Boy Bones. He's kind of based on, you know, old animation, kind of like the skeletons from a bunch of old animation from back in
like
the day,
nukes.
really based on that old cartoon style with the sound effects.
The game feels so much better. Wow.
Looks itself super
They
awesome.
really should not have started out with
so
just the showing.
He has a lot of cool animations, which I've already seen, but he also has really cool victory and defeat screens. In death, he actually turns into a skull and crossbones, and he has a little ghost that floats away. So, you know, not that it's good to like die in game, but when it happens, at least you
I mean, like, this isn't something that.
Let's see it.
Like, okay, in my personal opinion,
I love it too.
I love Smite so much.
So good.
When in like season 1
yeah, I was about to
or
say
2, when I first started playing, that I would go out of my way after working at Dairy Queen to get prepaid cards just to get my hands on the tier 5 because of how fucking cool it was for Archon Thanatos. You would not catch me dead doing that nowadays for this.
There are so many things I love about
That's all I'm saying.
That's my
I'm not
favorite.
saying it's bad. I think it's a cool concept. But for like the final Odyssey, like I'm looking for something really. This is unique, but I feel like this caters towards a specicic audience rather than most tier 5s like that evolve and are just cool. Like, you know, I don't know. You can say this like it's biased, I guess. You say that about any god, but
the sound design and how incorporating that with this skin would make it feel really good and showcase kind of all.
I don't know.
It's
I have a feeling this Odyssey is not going to do very well.
Apparently, when you're under the influence of his passive, Insanity, he actually becomes black and white, like an old-fashioned cartoon.
Oh yeah, they're impressive as shit animations.
There are so many different...
Really cool looking. Like, actually really cool. Like, I can't wait to play this goddamn skin.
Show it off for us.
Yeah, there's like a little song that happens too. It's really cute.
Yep. So, and look at that. He becomes black and white, just like in the old cartoon. It's so cool. That's just yeah, all the little animated eyes. Like, I hate to say that I want to have that passive on me, but you know, I'm not dodge the skill shot.
Yeah.
Man, this is so cool. And yeah, this is going to be to get that skin. If you do the buy all,
I mean, you fan cartoons, yeah, like exactly. You like cartoons, you like that shit, of course.
As soon as you hit buy all, so it's definitely. I mean,
if you like it, you like it, man. It's your opinion. I'm just not that excited about it.
It's gonna be
so like just working towards a tier 5. I mean, most tier 5s, they haven't been the best in the world.
For hanging out with me.
Yeah,
it's been fun. The skins are super awesome. I'm so excited about it. But I think it's time. I think it's time we get into Charybdis.
Let's go.
A Bellona and Scylla's child.
There once was a girl.
People were so pissed after this, like,
born from the depths.
this trailer dropped.
Free. And every fish, each creature and man who laid
Because like
eyes
everyone
on
thought
her
it was like that little
was
circle
not
thing on the
seen
underwater.
Again.
Mother, it's only a story, right?
Right! Right! On the right!
Cinematics are so nice though, man. Imagine if fucking, you know, I want to see Bacchus just flop down on his stomach. Why isn't Bacchus in any of the fucking trailers? How the fuck do you pronounce that? Charybdis?
Ooh, that's every time I watch that I get chills. I am so excited. Welcome back, Ajax, and welcome, Clumsy. How are you doing?
Yeah, the class is already confirmed, which is exciting because I thought it was going to be a mage or a guardian. That does not look like an ADC.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So that's Charybdis. There's so much to talk about. Let's just dive right into it with kind of the lore and the
Charybdis.
theme. Lay it on me. Let's go.
Clumsy, why don't you give a start on the background, and then let me. I'll talk a little bit more about how Kryptos translates into the Smite universe at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So Charybdis is the child of Poseidon, and there was a fight back in some time where they were up against Zeus, and because of that fight, they ended up losing. Zeus actually cursed Charybdis to become a gigantic, whirlpool creature that would suck up into tides, 3 times and a day. And there was lots of stories between the Odysseus and with the Argonauts where they had to choose between sailing in the strait between Scylla or Charybdis. I think if you looked at the Closer Look blog, there's a lot of analogies that came up from that situation. And usually those sailors were kind of doomed either way. If they went too close to Scylla, well, she would get them, and if you get too close to the whirlpool in Charybdis, well, you're probably going to be doomed for a similar fate there.
I didn't listen to a single word he said.
Bringing Charybdis into Smite,
I don't really care about lore, honestly.
A lot of different decisions need to be made. There's a lot of different ways to work.
That's the Sagat I'm really interested in.
We really feel like the strongest.
We need an assassin. Who was the last assassin?
She's always referred to.
Tsukuyomi?
Scylla and Charybdis.
Right.
All of the stories where she's described, they always describe her together. So we wanted to design her in a way that matched Scylla.
Tsukuyomi felt like he was a while ago now.
Dynamic duo that made them feel like fitting together. So Charybdis is a young child, but she actually appears like a young child, is like a daughter of Poseidon, but she's actually hiding her cursed arm underneath her royal cloak. That is actually a giant.
Damn, it's been a year since the last assassin.
With an insatiable appetite or thirst for seawater, who is never satisfied, and he is ready to chomp up some gods on the battleground. So we really like to think of the maw as that aspect from mythology, that giant mouthed creature that she's hiding, she's concealing. That is what was swallowing the seawater for years and for centuries. And she was trapped. Obviously, Scylla and Charybdis are often powerful characters, but
I think he was talking about the monster thing under her.
Away, and now she's freed, right? And that's why we see her in the cinematic leave her position underwater, where she's been, swallowing ships, and she's ready to see some action face to face. She's ready to get her hands dirty. She wants to get out there and make her mark on the battleground. Specifically, she's got vengeance towards Zeus, who had cursed her to this fate for so many centuries, right?
Oh yeah, I bet.
And a lot of different thematic elements were all coming together. We liked the idea of, here you see her, this is her idle animations where the maw comes out and she interacts with it in various ways. You'll also see it coming out and interacting in various ways with her abilities, but we thought it made sense to see her be freed by Tiamat, the mother of monsters, and Charybdis, a child maybe no one could love except for Tiamat, right? That seems like a perfect fit. Tiamat, who is all of her children are monsters.
I feel like her eyes just popped more in the trailer. I don't know why I'm focusing on it, but they made such a huge deal of it.
We were initially thinking hunter. We've always wanted a hunter. We had talked about a lot of different ways to realize this, but
kind of cool. I want to see her abilities really badly.
Signify that, to help show her battle readiness. And we designed the daggers in a way that is referencing tooth from or bone, as if these all of her daggers, you could imagine, are the countless teeth that the maw has shed like a shark over the years. He just sheds teeth and grows new ones, and Charybdis fashioning them into her weapon.
Why does she only have one idle animation?
So much detail and connectivity between her lore and her art and her style and her gameplay, as well as how she fits on the battleground. Like I feel like we could talk about this one topic forever, but I'm so glad we're seeing her model and her animations right now, and we have to see, of course, her abilities.
Absolutely. How about we do that? Pawn, can you can take it away and show us everything.
Let's see. So small.
Right,
I like her walking animation. She throws 3 autos at once? Wait, what? Oh, yes, thank God! They actually have that ability, or they have the old thing. Wait.
Also this.
Whoa! What is that? That's pretty fucking cool. All right, I'm interested.
So much to see there.
Wow.
Yeah, so much.
I thought she didn't have a movement ability first. I was supposed to be very disappointed.
I agree. Well, let's dive right into it then. How about the passive Raging Tides?
Yeah, Kryptos' passive is Raging Tides, although I also want to really quickly bring about her basic attack chain, which I know we didn't add into this, but it's pretty important. It's honestly what makes Kryptos really unique too, is that she has a unique basic attack chain where the third
Yes, I love that shit. That's so cool.
Lighter basic attacks. So you can see
oh, I'm gonna play her, man. Just off that basic attack. I love that shit.
Animation tell. She fires 3.
I love auto attack progression in general, bro.
Doing a third the normal amount of
they never add any progression with gods, but now they have this. That's fucking dope.
That's
at
so
a reduced
so
damage
exciting.
amount.
Yeah, I was gonna get to. I was gonna put a little ellipsis there. So
finally, some diversity of auto type progression. They always add 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I'm not talking about just hunters, just gods in general.
We get a little bit of that clarification, where there is the positive effect. Obviously, it is an ability; it's her passive. Where Kryptos actually, just like her father Poseidon, we wanted to have some nods, like we talked about in the closer look vlog. She gains Tide with her basic attacks, and in this case, she actually gains attack speed as her Tide increases, and her abilities can spend it in different ways. But as we noted, item damage is reduced by 35% on Kryptos to make sure that the procs from her basic attacks aren't too insane. Believe me, at 100%, she was really doing a lot of damage, and it kind of relegated her to only being able to buy chins and Odipo. Well, now, honestly, while an attack speed build is good, and we can talk about that at the end, you can actually go crit and stuff too, and you'll see with the rest of her abilities, it feels pretty strong.
This basic attack hit chain is super
I love
awesome.
it.
It feels really good to use. I can't wait for.
Oh, I can't wait to try it out, man.
Yeah, it looks so
rewarding.
rewarding.
We had a lot of people note that.
The 3 dagger toss is just so fun looking. I'm excited. All right, so how about the first ability? How about we talk about Spike Shot?
Yeah, so Spike Shot is a basic attack stim where Kryptos finally, reveals the maw. It comes out, and she gets to fire spikes from it for a short duration. The basic attacks in this, because these are actually dealing basic attack damage, they're slightly wider and they fire slightly faster, so the projectiles are slightly faster as well. They pass through minions, and on hitting any god or wall, they actually splinter in several fragments. Those fragments are bonus damage, and they're not basic attack damage.
Wait, you can switch between them? Wait.
Extra damage to the god hit, as well as...
Oh, it ricochets? Oh wait, no, or does it just automatically explode?
I can already think of all the different ways that that can be fun to use, like in the jungle. Like
That is, I like that though. Wait, how did he use the other version of the ability?
Charybdis has a lot of, has a couple different themes going on here. So we have,
confused.
Of course, we're trying to work in using the monster, right? So we have, like we talked about, her daggers being carved from Thoth. This is shooting something more literally, a spike from the monster. But you're also seeing a lot of water mixed in here. So as a whirlpool goddess,
right.
We have a lot of aquatic nods. So you're seeing some watery effects along with this. And you're going to see more of that coming up in future abilities. And this ability, allowing it to pierce through minions is a strong effect for lane clearing and something.
It should explode. Oh, okay, gotcha. So it doesn't auto-explode, it has to hit something. That makes sense.
But we do actually recommend, especially with testing, that you probably, the recommended level order is actually the 2, which is coming up next, because if any enemies do want to, just body block it, it's kind of got like the...
Thank God they added like the mouth thing that everyone was looking at.
To make sure it's not too overpowered, especially with the passive attack speed, it does have minion hit reduction applied, that actually goes away as it ranks up. So at level 1,
it's a really new type of balance effect.
Reduction. Yep.
Got it.
Bro, is that guy's cat in
correct me
heat?
if I'm seeing this right, but this is a duration-based ability, meaning that you get to fire more spikes the more attack speed you have?
Exactly. That's a really key point, actually, because even with her passive at early games, and that's another reason why we tend not to rank it early, you're not going to be actually doing that much because your attack speed's pretty low. But as you gain items and as you gain more levels, that ability actually becomes way, way stronger, even without any extra points being put into it.
That's
a bit of a one-point wonder,
awesome.
you could say.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's move to the second ability. Let's check out Capsize.
Yeah, absolutely. So Capsize, is a little bit of a unique ability where it starts off as a smaller cone, and the more you channel it, the more it actually gains in width. So that it's more like the cone angle itself is growing. And Kryptos is absorbing water from the area around her before firing it again from that maw. Enemies hit are applied.
So it has a delay.
Really
it's like a wave.
Rapidly decaying slow and physical protection debuff.
Ooh, a prot
if you channel
debuff.
for longer, obviously you're getting a longer lifetime and a longer potency to that debuff effect, but it does take Tide. So you can see right here, Pon turned off his energy cheats, so he's actually unable to fire any larger than that radius.
Gotcha.
Now, this is symbolic of Charybdis drinking up the water for all the years, right?
Yeah.
So in this ability, the maw hidden under her cloak is drinking in the water and getting ready to then projectile it out at enemies. This is a really good setup ability. You'll want to use this before you follow up with your basic attacks in many cases, but I would also like to point out that this ability does not hit further than 55 units away. Her basic attacks are the normal 55 unit range, her 1 is the normal 55 unit range, and the 2 is also a little bit shorter than that, so she doesn't actually have a long-ranged poke ability on a hunter, which is a very interesting playstyle. You kind of have to get very close, or you have to stay right at that 55 range to play Charybdis optimally. And her next ability doesn't really afford her any range either, but it does complement that type of playstyle in a very interesting and powerful way, and of course in a very satisfying way to those players out there who are wishing that you could be just a giant whirlpool. We have something for you ready to go.
Well, why keep teasing them with it? Let's show off Whirlpool form. Let's let them see the monster, the Whirlpool.
I'm yawning all of a sudden. Oh,
so,
that's so cool.
We knew people would want to see a Whirlpool. We knew people would want to see more of the monstrous Maw. So we kind of designed this ability to be, you know, really
so it can pass through anything.
As well as
is she faster? She has to be, right?
You know, you've got similar.
She's definitely immune to damage too.
Similar approach, like AJ was saying, where you are incentivized.
I love that ability.
So this ability is a toggle ability. You can only toggle it once, however, and it does take Tide in doing so.
Ooh,
so it's kind of like
and
a
it
mix
knockbacks.
between Pele and Jormungandr, where if Charybdis just uses this ability, she's dealing damage. To
oh, that ability's cool looking,
but if she
dude.
actually presses it again to spend that Tide, she moves even faster and does more
oh,
damage
so
in
you
that
can
area,
spend
and
your that's
also
cool.
does a knock-up effect, which is really integral actually.
Oh, so the knock-up is only if
trying to be aggressive.
with the Tide effects.
Yeah, like I mean, it's scary.
That looks cool as fuck, though, man.
You use that to engage, but with that speed boost and the knock-up, there's so much potential for really getting into your enemy with that.
Now, this is a very powerful movement ability and also a very unique one, and one we kind of wanted to try out in Smite for a long time because of its untargetability. Lets her evade a lot of powerful things. Lets her get out a lot of trouble.
So wait,
also, it doesn't move super fast. You know, or go super far.
Does that get her out? Does she have an immunity frame in there, like a Kama jump?
Really well. They're prepared to ambush.
She's untargetable, but does that mean she's CC immune? Like if an Ares ulted her in that fourm, what would happen?
Of being a whirlpool.
Like, well, she ulted and then she went into the 3. I wonder. She'd probably still be pulled, right?
On design, visuals, and theme, like, I'm so glad we were able to bring this aspect of the kit to this goddess. I mean,
I don't know why I can't stop yawning all of a sudden.
This kind of
it's like the most interesting part of the entire thing, and I'm just. I think my pre-workout ran out.
It's a very potent ability in fact that you can use this to either engage or disengage. It does have a pretty long windup, so she has this entire time where she's animating and diving into the ground, which is about 0.5 seconds. And during that time, you can stun her out of it. You can stop her from using this ability and try and lock her down. You'll definitely notice
bro, you ever seen Agni Dash originally?
Escape, but if you were given enough,
she was CC immune.
Then you definitely can get away from some serious hands.
Did you mention the warm-up time too?
That's what I was just saying. The 0.5 seconds.
Okay.
And she's untargetable.
Yeah, that warm-up time.
So
Sorry,
cool.
I was still trying to.
I know I already said that. I just reiterated it with.
State. But yeah, that warm-up time is no joke.
Tower
I've gotten
there.
trapped a few times in playtesting, thinking I could get out of things a little too quickly, but the warm-up time, a well-timed CC will prevent you from escaping. And same with if you're too. If you're
Turn on the wall. No, turn on the wall is immune to everything.
Someone can save your CC for right when you come out and get you that way too.
And while you can go underneath player-made deployables, you cannot go underneath.
But turn on the wall is immune to an Ares ult, right?
A leap or a teleport, right? So if you are being ganked and
so happy the new adjustment,
lane,
man.
you may not be safe just going to your tower.
Damn.
You might have just preferred having like a leap over into the jungle instead. So
looks cool as shit.
Sometimes just
Yeah.
chasing the Charybdis is actually the simpler approach.
Yeah, but that is super worth noting.
So does she instantly get an audible proc then off of her passive?
And, yeah, if you have that ability up, you can just skulk right out under it.
Because it's only a percentage of it.
Which is super awesome.
Yeah, full immune.
Yeah, and I agree that it looks super good. If super good means like terrifying.
General abilities though are a lot less.
So, but that's awesome. I'm excited. About
overwhelming
that.
than hers.
I'm excited about trying to chase that. But let's get into the ult. Let's check out the Maw Hungers.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to see it again before
let's do it. Let's do it.
There we go.
Oh,
all right. So
brings out the Maw.
Just like how Charybdis had, that passive that kind of alluded to her father, Poseidon, we wanted to do something very reminiscent, you know, her
So it
spiritual
pushes
sister
back.
of Scylla. We wanted to have this similar kind of ability where you do a large chunk of damage, but utilizing this awesome creature of hers. And of course, you can see you got the killer reset.
Damage. Okay.
So Kryptos has
There's so many people that watch this and just like, oh my gosh, she's so broken because they see the damage. It's just fucking
faster as well. And she
on a custom. They're showing like what it looks like. It doesn't actually do that damage.
Push enemies that are caught in that towards the
Come on,
cone,
boys.
towards the center of the cone. And in that cone, you're going to be dealing a heavy amount of damage and actually stunning as well, which is a different component than Scylla has. But as a hunter, this ability is actually not the easiest to use. We have found.
I feel like this is a lot easier than a Scylla ult, and Scylla ult's already pretty easy. Or is it? I don't know.
You know, a long-range mage like
Let's try and game.
firing something over a wall is pretty easy. This ability you can't fire through walls because of that net component. And if you're not careful, the enemy can just sidestep it or beads or Aegis, and then it just fire back at you. So adding that stun component to utility has
I
been very,
guarantee
very helpful.
that people in the chat are like, oh my god, it's so OP! 10,000 damage! Oh my god, this is power! Oh my god, the damage! Look at how OP it is! It's so OP!
Yeah. Wow, that's
10k pep chat! Oh my god!
Oh, and that's cool.
Christ.
You can choose the distance you want. You can literally cast it like a bite right in your face. That's
Exactly. So the closer you do fire this ability, the faster it comes
So
out.
I
It's
know.
also really important
People are talking about the
because
damage
at
as well.
max range distance, it isn't actually the easiest ability to hit. You know, enemies can
It's
just
not.
kind of
It really is not. And I know people, you know, there's probably a lot of people out there who think they're masters at Smite, and some of you maybe are, but a lot of you are not. And when the time comes, we will see how this works. How good people are.
There you go.
We think this is a very high risk, high reward ability. It can be really strong when the.
It's sad when Ponpon has to literally fucking say that because so many people. He knows that people are just gonna be like,
having a. You know, just like the experiences described. I remember having experiences in playtesting where I
they
tried
literally had to
one
address
scenario,
it.
missed or got beads, and the other hunter punished me for it by killing me.
That's
And I also
sad.
remember coming around a corner in a jungle and hitting like.
That's just
3
how
enemies on the
over
team,
dramatic people are
and
in
they all
Twitch
had their
chat
beads down
all
and
the
swinging a whole
time.
team fight.
Right,
It's very akin to Scylla, and also it's just very important for us to show her maw, the monster, in its truest, full-size, large form, where it's just really impressive and scary. And that's what this ability is really going for thematically.
You know that moment right at the end of the Kryptos cinematic where the maw is just flying at you? That is the maw coming at you and it's about to bite down.
That's so
Dude, that would be
exciting.
scary as
I really
fuck.
love that you get to choose the range.
Imagine you turn a corner and this motherfucker is just like right at you. I'm gonna get jump scared in this game, dude.
Hey, you know,
I get jump scared in Smite sometimes, but I'm gonna get really jump scared.
Right, yeah. Like there's so many ways you can use it. And it's obviously horrifying. So super duper awesome.
I'm excited to play her, man.
See in game.
For me, I
we
think
have
that's pretty much it.
additional animations, waves, claps, emotes.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Taunts and stuff.
Recall. We have mastery skins as well.
But yeah, gameplay-wise, I think we covered.
There's a lot of potential for skins with her.
Well, then let's check out the mastery colors. Let's look at that. Thank you, Pawn, for driving. Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, that guy is scary.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the guy,
even in this color, he's scary.
Ooh,
yeah. Oh, and I love. So for those of y'all who might not have noticed,
I wonder what her diamond skin looks like.
Eye colors are different. So there's a
that's
normal
right.
eye color, and then the eye color that matches with the eyes of the maw. So to kind of show, that half is corrupted or cursed by the maw.
Yeah, they announced earlier, Damon.
Really cool thing that they added. It's so great. I love it.
We also have that gem on her shoulder is swirling like a whirlpool contained within it, and you can see it here in the card
This
art
one's
here.
super cool too.
A nod to her
I love
whirlpool
the different recolors.
history.
So absolutely beautiful. I love the green, like the contrast between the orange.
Not a huge fan of these recolors at all.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like Ajax was just saying, the gem on the side with the whirlpool is so amazing to look at. Like so much.
I color more. That's the first thing I said. How many? Oh, this is the Masters. I was about to say, how many goddamn recolors?
Whoa,
Here's
I
her
wonder who that is in
mastery
the
card
background
with her and Scylla.
Yeah. It's so like she wears the gold so well, like that stance. Oh, the teeth are
gold looks better.
Yeah, it was just you can't like help but look at those, right? Stare at the golden teeth.
So good. She
The
really is
monster
rocking
looks
this
kind
one.
of
Like, she's so
fucky with that
regal looking.
though.
She wears these colors so well.
Ooh.
That looks cool.
That's
contrast.
ink.
Legendary definitely
This
fits
is
that a lot
always
better.
one of my favorite masteries. Is this color?
Legendary
scheme. It looks great
usually-
on Charybdis, just like it does on every other guy.
Yeah, the
It
color
really does. The
scheme,
ball
he's
looks
right.
I have Diamond Fafnir and I still play Legendary.
Like with
Fafnir.
Susanoo, I used to do the same shit.
Black Dragon, like.
At least in something that's diamond, right? That's not
I
diamond.
don't know though. Diamond's looking
This is
good. Like,
default again.
Oh my god, I was about to say.
oh yeah, you're right.
I don't know. Diamond's looking pretty cool. I gotta suck that dick. Ajax, come on, get in there.
And I did see some players mention that Charybdis' default kind of has a little bit of a mastery color, but I think we've shown that the masteries feel very different from this default.
I want to
As
see the diamond. Come
you
on.
would see the diamond, the maw would be very bright. white.
Ajax, get it together.
It would be much more teal. reflective,
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure why we. Sorry, we made that mistake. We looked like we copy pasted over the wrong video or so, overwrote.
We got a yes man over here.
Definitely, those will all be available in PTS for you to take a look at.
We're not even able to see the diamond.
Big shout outs to the art team and the tech team, animation team.
Aw.
Absolutely. Charybdis is no easy feat. Like doing the
No,
maw
not at all.
and the girl, it's almost like doing two gods at once. It is a huge task for our team to come up with something like this and to make it work. And the amount of scaling it has, the way
I
it
wanna
can
see
change
diamonds in the
size,
page.
which is just part
I
of
don't
its
blame
power,
him, man.
which is
Of
not
course.
uncommon thing
I
for sea
mean,
creatures to be
of
able
course
to
you're gonna
do.
talk it up. I mean,
Inflate and deflate themselves.
I'm
That's
just
the
joking
maw
about it,
as
but
well.
it's his
And just
job.
the team working around that, working around the cloak, how they hide away the monster. It's really, really a technical marvel. In the
Like a cool skin? That'd be pretty cool. I was thinking of skins that'd be pretty neat with her.
So clean and smooth as a final product.
Yeah, I mean everything down to the sounds too, because I've even been told that the sound there's so many little like sound effects and bits from actual sea creatures, including even like dolphins and whales. You know, they really they. took
What
the
would be a
sea,
really
like,
cool skin for
compressed it
that?
down and, like,
A Gara skin.
I'm so glad you
Imagine
made that
Gara.
mention, Danny, 'cause the audio
I know that's a
designers
little
are
out there,
often
but
done
I'm trying to
some
think of
videos in
things
the video
that
game
are
world.
similar with that, like the
No
arm.
ability in the game
Like a Gara
feels
skin.
good on mute. You need
With
the
his
sound, like animation,
one tail?
effects, and design. We do.
Gara would be
are
fire,
the
right?
art
Yeah.
aspect.
Be
The
cool.
sound
Venom.
is
Yeah, like that
super
kind of stuff is what I mean.
And we know
There's
that
definitely a lot of
testing
potential for the
happens when you don't
skins
have good
there.
temp sounds on your abilities during their early phases. People get confused. People get lost. People can't tell what's
Oh
going
yeah,
on. But
absolutely.
audio is so important.
Trying to
and
think.
They did a fantastic job on this skin.
They should do one of me.
These skins as well.
And then Snowball comes
I'm
out.
so
And it's
excited.
just the
All of
Jormungandr
y'all should be
Snowball.
excited too. PTS is going live Friday, so make sure that y'all
Quagmire.
Make sure y'all let us know. how you
Who the
feel
fuck
about
said
it.
that? Dylan.
Again, I'm just
Quagmire's
really
jacked ass
excited
hand.
to really hit the battleground and start to recap it. You know, we have
Glorious, thank you for
Someone's
the
been
prime,
doing it
dude.
forever now. Partner in crimes here with her monster to show us why we should continue to be afraid of stuff from the Mezinist trade.
I just love the idea of the DPS on a team, the two core DPS being these little girls that both have this terrifying monster that's going to just deal tons of damage and just
Throwing a
thinking
Poseidon
about
in the
them both-
jungle as well.
Thinking about both of them just pursuing Zeus just to beat him up for what he did in the past. Like, love that idea. It's like it's
Isn't
really
everyone
cool
trying to beat up
finally see
Zeus?
them fighting side by side in the battleground, and especially in your arena and Joust and Clash comps, you can see them fighting together from the very beginning of the game. In Conquest, they'll have their own lanes for a little while, but when they make those rotations and ganks to fight together, it really is a magical experience.
Oh yeah, their ults in tandem are going to be something to watch for, and I'm sure we're going to see some plays come out of that, no doubt. So either
What's up,
way,
friend?
that's been the update show. It's super awesome.
That was
make sure
good.
Y'all look into the Season Pass 2021. That's how you're going to get that Ascended skin. That's how you're going to get all the custom recolors for or the limited recolors for Season 8 things. But yeah, we went over a lot today. I am drained. There are so many good things. My hype
So many.
levels are, like, here.
A diamond skin, though.
I don't know, 2 hours or something, hour and a half.
Don't
so,
forget
like,
PTS on Friday.
Exactly. Make sure that you're
You
there
want to
for
get
it.
the first look to get and gameplay playing Charybdis before she goes live. You can play her on Friday when the test server goes up. I know that a lot of streamers will be and people do custom games at that time, so put that on your calendar.
I'll
and
be
get
there.
ready
I literally
check
had to
her
be
out.
late to my
And let us know your feedback. Let us know what you think.
friend's cottage because of that, because I don't want to miss out on this.
August 24th, so it might seem like a long ways away, but it'll be on us before you know it. So really do let us know in PTS what you love. So other than that, Clumsy, Ajax, thank y'all guys so much for being here today, and thank y'all all hanging out in the chat. We'll talk to you guys next time. See ya.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for watching, though. That was fun. Definitely exciting. Lots of awesome news. If you were joining me on YouTube, definitely an interesting patch notes. Lots of cool shit to cover. Honestly, the God, like, if my main points, The god definitely looks cooler than I was expecting in game in terms of abilities. Skins caught me off guard with some of them. Some of them were absolutely awful. Mainly the Neath one, I guess, but the other ones, most of them are pretty cool. New Joust Map is back, of course. Fuck yes, that is definitely the most exciting thing I'm most excited for. That's for sure. I can't wait. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time, guys. Have a good one. Bye bye.